Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Podcast with Emily and Michael.
Hey guys, we're really happy you're here with us today.
I hope your day is going well so far.
And today we're talking about one of our favorite places.
Yes, today we're talking about being at a cafe.
Which is a very good topic for us.
Definitely.
Because we both really like cafes.
We really do.
A cafe can be many things.
Yes, it can be a place for coffee,
A place for conversation.
a place to relax,
A place to think.
a place to sit quietly for a while,
Or a place to take a small break in the day.
which is also very important.
Very important.
So, maybe we should start with a simple question. Do you like cafes?
Very much.
Same.
I think cafes make normal life feel a little nicer.
That's such a good way to say it.
Thank you.
I think so too.
There is something special about sitting in a cafe with a drink and no pressure for a little while.
Yes, I love that feeling.
What do you like most about cafes?
Honestly, I love the feeling of a good cafe.
That sounds very Emily.
I know.
What kind of feeling?
Warm light, soft music, people talking quietly, the smell of coffee, a nice cup, a calm table, all those small things.
That sounds really good.
It is.
I think the feeling of a place matters a lot.
Definitely.
A good cafe is not only about the drink.
Exactly.
It's also about how the place makes you feel.
Yes. Some cafes feel warm and peaceful.
Some feel too loud.
Some feel cozy.
Some feel too busy.
Exactly.
What kind of cafe do you like most?
I like cafes that feel calm and simple.
Same.
Not too noisy, not too crowded, not too bright.
Yes, I don't want a cafe that feels stressful.
Me neither.
If I go to a cafe, I usually want to feel better, not more tired.
That's such a good point. I think there are different reasons people go to cafes.
Definitely.
Some people go there to meet friends.
Some go alone.
Some go there to read.
Some go there to think.
Some go there because they need a small break.
Yes, I think that's very common.
What do you usually do in a cafe?
Most often, I sit with coffee and either talk to someone or just watch life a little.
I love that.
Sometimes it's nice to sit and do almost nothing.
Yes. I think cafes are good places for slow moments.
Definitely.
What do you usually order?
Usually, coffee.
Of course.
I know. Very surprising.
Very surprising.
Sometimes a cappuccino, sometimes an Americano, sometimes something cold if the weather is hot.
That sounds very normal.
What about you?
Usually coffee too.
What kind?
It depends. Sometimes a latte, sometimes a cappuccino,
Nice.
and sometimes tea.
Really?
Yes, especially if I want something softer.
That makes sense.
I think drinks change the mood too.
Definitely.
A strong coffee feels different from tea.
Yes. Tea feels quieter somehow.
Exactly.
Do you order food in cafes too?
Sometimes yes.
Like what?
A croissant, toast, a small dessert, maybe a sandwich, something simple.
That sounds good.
What about you?
Usually something small if I'm hungry, but I don't always go to a cafe for food.
Same.
For me, the main thing is usually the drink and the feeling of the place.
I understand that completely. I think one of the nicest things about a cafe is that it creates a small pause in the day.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Even if the day is busy, a cafe can make 15 or 20 minutes feel softer.
That's so true.
I think people need more small pauses like that.
Me too. Do you like going to cafes alone?
Yes, I really do.
Same.
I think some people feel uncomfortable going alone,
Yes, I've noticed that too.
but I actually think cafes are very nice for alone time.
Definitely.
Why do you like going alone?
Because it feels peaceful.
That makes sense.
I can sit, think, enjoy my coffee, maybe look outside, maybe just rest my mind a little.
Yes. I think being alone in a cafe can feel very calm.
It really can.
Sometimes being alone at home and being alone in a cafe feel very different.
That's a great point.
At home, sometimes I feel too inside my routine.
Yes.
But in a cafe, I feel alone, but also a little connected to life around me.
Wow. That's such a good way to say it.
Thank you.
I really agree though.
There are people, sounds, movement, but still personal space.
Exactly. What do you think makes a cafe bad?
Too much noise.
Same.
If the music is too loud or too many people are speaking loudly, I stop enjoying it.
Definitely.
I also don't like when the place feels rushed.
What do you mean?
I mean, when everything feels too fast, too crowded, too stressful.
Yes. That changes the whole feeling.
For me, a good cafe should feel soft.
I like that word.
What makes a cafe bad for you?
Bad coffee helps.
Of course.
I mean, if the place is beautiful, but the coffee is bad, that's a problem.
Fair.
I also don't like when tables are too close and you can hear every word from 5 different conversations.
That's so real.
Sometimes I want a nice feeling, not chaos.
Exactly. Do you like working in a cafe?
Sometimes.
Same.
It depends on the kind of work.
That's true.
I wouldn't do my hardest work there.
No, me neither.
But for light work, writing, answering messages, or planning, it can be nice.
I agree.
A cafe can be a good place when you need a different space.
Definitely. Sometimes home feels too heavy or too distracting.
Yes.
And then a cafe gives you a fresh little start.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think cafes can help people feel more motivated sometimes.
Definitely.
Not in a dramatic way,
No,
but in a gentle way.
I like that. The change of place changes the energy.
Exactly.
Do you like looking at people in cafes?
A little, yes.
Same.
Not in a strange way,
Right.
but I do like seeing little parts of life.
Me too.
People talking, someone reading, someone working, someone laughing, someone sitting quietly.
Yes. It reminds you that life is happening everywhere.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think cafes are interesting because they are personal and shared at the same time.
Wow. That's such a good point.
You're in your own little moment, but also in a place with other people.
Exactly.
I think that's why some people love cafes so much.
Definitely. Let's talk about favorite cafe moments.
Good idea.
What is your perfect cafe moment?
Maybe a quiet morning, good coffee, soft light, no rush, and a table near the window.
That sounds very perfect for you.
I know.
What would you do there?
Maybe write a little, maybe think, maybe just sit and enjoy it.
That sounds lovely.
What about you?
Mine is probably a coffee after a walk, maybe in cool weather, then sitting down and doing nothing for a bit.
That sounds very you.
Thank you.
I think cafe moments feel good because they are small and complete.
That's a really interesting idea. What do you mean?
I mean, they don't need to become something big.
Yes,
It's just a simple, good moment.
I love that.
Coffee, a table, a pause, maybe a conversation, maybe just a quiet mind for a little while.
Yes, small, complete moments are very important in life.
Definitely.
I think people often chase big experiences and forget how much small good moments matter.
Exactly. Do you think cafes are more about drinks or about feeling?
Feeling.
Same.
Drinks matter, of course.
Of course.
But I think people return to cafes because of how the place makes them feel.
Yes. Safe, cozy, calm, social, awake, relaxed, all those things.
Exactly.
I also think cafes are nice places for simple conversation.
Definitely.
Not every conversation needs a big event.
No.
Sometimes coffee and one good friend are enough.
That's such a good point. By the way, if you enjoy listening to Simple English with us, don't forget to subscribe to Easy English Podcast with Emily and Michael.
And if you think this episode can help a friend with English, feel free to share it with them.
We'd really appreciate that.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's talk about cafes in different places.
Okay,
Do you think cafes are different in different countries?
definitely.
Same.
Some places feel faster, some feel slower, some feel more social, some feel more quiet.
Yes. That's very true.
In some places, people stay a long time.
In some places, they drink quickly and leave.
Exactly.
I think I like slower cafe culture more.
Me, too.
I like when people are allowed to sit and enjoy the moment a little.
Yes. That makes the whole place feel softer.
Definitely.
I think a good cafe teaches people how to slow down a little.
That's a beautiful idea.
Thank you.
I also think cafes can become part of people's routines.
Yes. That's very common.
Morning coffee, weekend coffee, meeting a friend in the same place, working there sometimes, all that.
Exactly.
And routines like that can make life feel warmer.
Definitely. I think one nice thing about cafes is that they can become small places of comfort.
I love that.
Not your home, but still familiar.
Yes. A place where your body relaxes a little because it knows the feeling.
That's very true.
Do you think people can spend too much money in cafes?
Yes, of course.
Same.
But I also think some cafe moments are worth it.
That's a very balanced answer.
Thank you.
I agree then.
If every day becomes many expensive cafe trips, maybe that's too much.
Yes.
But sometimes paying for a peaceful moment is not a bad thing.
Exactly. I think the problem is not the cafe itself.
Right.
It's whether it fits your life, your habits, and your money.
That makes a lot of sense. So, if someone says, I don't really understand why people love cafes so much, what would you say?
I would say it's not only about coffee.
Good answer.
It's about atmosphere, pause, comfort, and little moments of life.
I love that. My answer would be, a cafe can turn a normal day into a nicer day without needing anything huge.
That's such a good line.
Thank you.
I think that's exactly why people love them.
So what is one cafe thing you want this week?
A good cappuccino and a quiet table.
That sounds perfect.
What about you?
A window seat and no rush.
That sounds very Emily,
I know.
and I support it.
Thank you.
So maybe the message of this episode is simple.
A cafe is not only a place to buy a drink,
It can also be a place to pause,
to talk,
to think,
to rest a little.
and sometimes small, peaceful places make life feel much better.
Exactly.
So that was our conversation about being at a cafe.
Thanks for spending this time with us on Easy English Podcast with Emily and Michael.
If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend who is learning English too.
We'd really appreciate that.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.